Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and if it's your first time here, welcome. So what I'm doing today is that I'm pre-ordering the new iMac. Well, kinda showing you how I would pre-order the new iMac and what I would choose out of all the options. So I'm not actually pre-ordering it, but I'm just showing you what I would choose based on my preference. So we're on the website. Now we click on Mac, so we're on the Mac website. So we click on the new iMac basically. Now we're on the new iMac page on the website. You click order to see the options. You click order to see the options, and if you watch my previous video, you would know that they have three options. They have the base model, which is $1,299, the mid-range, which is $1,499, and the highest range, which is $1,699. Difference between these are that the basic one have an 8-core CPU and a 7-core GPU, and it doesn't come with the Touch ID. It have less port too, in terms of like USB ports, but that's not really the main thing. It have a lesser GPU than the mid-range and than the higher range. The mid-range and the higher range have the same specs, and the difference is really one is 256 gig and one is 512. That's the only difference. Everything else is the same. Now, when I look at this, buying a computer, I believe that you must be looking for the savings. How I see that work is that I would end up choosing the mid-range, and I'll explain why. So the color that I would choose is also silver. I'm choosing the safe color, guys. That is what I would choose. If you want to choose the blue, the green, the purple, or any one of those, you can choose that, but I am choosing the silver. So now that we have selected the silver, alright, now that we're inside the part to customize your Mac. Alright, so when you reach the memory area, I would upgrade the memory to 16 gigs. Reason being, this is an all-in-one computer. You cannot really change these parts after you purchase it. So I would just upgrade the memory. As it relates to the storage though, as you can see on screen, you have 256 gigs that you get in the machine. If you want to upgrade to 512, that's $200. If you want to upgrade to 1 terabyte, that's $400. If you want to upgrade to 2 terabyte, that's $800. This part, I will definitely skip this part, and I will show you why when I jump over to that part to show you what I will do to save money as it relates to the storage. Now, I am a trackpad person and not necessarily a mouse person. So I would switch to the trackpad, which will add an additional $50, and then I'll go add to bag. Now that I've added it to the bag, AppleCare is very important. Reason why AppleCare is important is that if you have any issue with your computer, you can always send it back to Apple. And if you know certain little stuff, you can just always return it and Apple will help to sort you out. So that's it. I'll just add AppleCare. I don't need any of these dongles, or I don't need any other stuff. Alright, so now that I've customized the machine, I have the silver one, the 24-inch silver iMac with 4.5 Retina display. As you can see, it's $1,749. I also add AppleCare, which is $169. And as you can see, the total is $1,918. If you look at the bottom, you realize that you can pay monthly with your Apple Card. So if you're on an Apple Card, you can pay monthly, and you only will be paying $160 per month. I think this is actually for 2 years, but this is actually a good deal, especially if you live in America. You have the Apple Card, you just pay it monthly, you don't have to worry about it, you already have your machine. Worse, if you're using your machine to do any form of production like creating graphics or anything, you should be able to pay $160 a month easily. A YouTuber who has a channel who is making some form of money from it should be able to do this easily. Now that's it. That's basically building the computer. As it relates to storage, I am looking at this Western Digital 2 terabyte My Passport SSD. This SSD, I would use something like this for my storage. This is the one that I will choose. I'll choose the silver one to match the silver, and I'll probably velcro it to the back of the computer so it's not on the desk. However, based on how I'll be using the computer, I am sure I'll be picking up some form of dongle that allows me to put an SD card in, or some form of dongle which I can hide somewhere, probably under my desk, which allows me to put SD card and it probably plug in my earphone without having to plug my earphone on the side. But this SSD is the SSD that I would choose. It's USB 3.0 and it's a Gen 2 So it's really fast, up to 1000 megabits per second. If you remember the price of the storage on Mac, 512 you have to pay 200 more, 1 terabyte you spend 400 more, and 2 terabyte you spend 800 more. So I'm saving actually, I would say about $500 and still getting the 2 terabyte. Mind you, it's not inside of your machine. So if you want that clean look and everything, you can go ahead and buy that $800 2 terabyte stuff. You probably can even set up a NAS for that $800. What I would do if I wanted like 4 terabyte, I would probably buy 2 of these and still save some money as it relates to getting storage for the machine. I would be working from these storage, especially working on projects. I'll be working from the SSD. That in itself can have an issue depending on the SSD, but for the most part, working from SSD is not a bad way to go. Another option is the Rocket Nano, and this is also a 2 terabyte SSD. This is actually really small. It's about the same specs as the Western Digital. It's a little bit more expensive, as I can say, 1000 plus read and write speed, 2 terabyte, USB 3.2. So it's technically the same, but these are the options that I would choose for my storage and not buy the storage directly. Alright guys, that's the next one. Thanks for watching. Remember, feel free to like this video and subscribe to the channel. This is ETT. Blessings and guidance.